Well, hello and welcome to Oak Lodge Fishery. You'll have to excuse my accent because my speech is really bad. Let's have a look round. This is the entrance to the lake, zoomed in and zoomed out, and the car park. We have a skip in the corner of the car park. This is for you to put your rubbish in. But please note there is a sign that says no empty gas cylinders. Please do not put them in the skip. This is the lodge vehicle which I drive. My name's Mark Dallas. I am the proprietor of the lake. There's a bit of a zoom in there. That's the phone number. Also have a couple of other lakes, syndicate lakes. Inquiries always welcome. This is the entrance to the lake as you walk up. The sign on the right hand side of the entrance here says please check on the signboard opposite for booking. You don't have to book, but it is advisable. If you turn up and you wish to fish, haven't booked, check on the sign on the left hand side here. You will see there's a sheet in there which is not focusing very well, which says the swims and what's booked and what's not. At the bottom there we have a plan of the lake with the depths on. Gives you a rough idea of the depths. Obviously as the water goes up and down they do change. We have another sign down here which is a disclaimer. It says that if you're using the lake you're doing so at your own risk. Car park as well, of course. This is the entrance as we walk up. There is a large sign in front of you. This is the sign. In the board, the sign box, we have photographs of some of the fish in the lake. As you can see, they're quite large, some of them. We have a good head of 20s, 30s and some 40s with 150. That's carp, catfish. There's probably already known we have some big ones. If you turn left, these are the swims you go to. If you turn right, these are the swims you go to. This is the view right towards the lodge. This is the view left, going round the lake clockwise. Let's take a little look at the lake from the end. Lovely little lake, picturesque. Let's go back towards the lodge. She's walking back towards the lodge. This is going anti-clockwise around the lake. The lodge itself has only just been completed. Is available for hire. We'll take a quick look round it. There it is. Nice lodge. Has room enough to sleep 2 upstairs with beds. Has a kitchen downstairs. A bathroom with a shower that works. Hot water, cold water. It's 12-volt electricity. It has a balcony. The balcony has a fireman's pole, which you do use at your own risk, I must say. But if you're on the balcony and your rod should go off in the lodge swim, it's a quick way of getting to them. This is the swim, the lodge swim, which is immediately on the front of the lodge. It's a big swim, big enough for 2 people to fish. This is the view of the lake from the lodge swim. As I say, lovely little lake. 2.8 acres, large head, large fish. Although they're not easy to catch. Turning round towards the lodge, This is the end view of it. As you can see, I'm looking up towards the balcony now and towards the front of it. Let's have a look inside. Going into the entrance. One room downstairs has gas heating for the winter. Stairs at the back has a stereo for some entertainment. Nice dining table. Round we have a fridge. We have a sink with hot and cold running water. We have an oven and a grill and a hob. This is a view from the front of the lodge, of the lake. Turning round in the cabin, some extra seating. We have a small bathroom to the rear. Walking into the bathroom, the view out the back. In the small bathroom, we have a tiled shower. As I say, hot and cold running water. Turning round, the other side, we have a toilet. Here's a chemical toilet that flushes. Cartridge toilet, correct term of phrase, I believe. Coming out, as I said, stereo for some entertainment. We go up the stairs. Looking up the stairs, one room upstairs, nicely finished, with two beds, two single beds, but we don't supply the bed's clothing. Bring your own quilt or sleeping bag. I'm going out onto the balcony now. As you can see, the fireman's pole entrance there, the front lifts up. It's obviously for safety so no one can fall down it. The view from the balcony to the left, and then the view of the lake from the balcony. It's actually a very picturesque view. Lovely in the morning. We look down at the lodge swim, which is immediately in front again. Back to the lake. Well, let's go back again. Let's have a little look down the pole. Obviously looks further going down than it does coming up. Again, another view of the upstairs of the lodge. The lodge itself is hireable. You can hire it for £40 a night, running from 12 midday to 12 midday. The fishing is extra. For stays of more than, let's have another quick look round. For stays of more than 3 days, we will negotiate discounts. Right, now we're walking anti-clockwise around the lake. There it is again, the lake. As you can see, we try to keep the lake in the clean and best of conditions. We don't like a lot of litter. We provide the skip and ask you again to put your rubbish in it or take it home. That's the dog. That's my dog. That's Boo, who, if you fish the lake, no doubt you will meet. She's a friendly dog. In actual fact, she's a staff, but she's a bit of a tart, so please don't scare her. This is the second swim, going around anti-clockwise. This swim is reeds. There's the sign, reeds. Let's have a look at the swim. I'll stand back a bit. This is the swim itself. Again, big enough for a large bivvy. Our swims are well spaced out. This is the view of the lake from the swim, from left to right. Right, let's go on. Again, proceeding anti-clockwise around the lake. As you can see, as I said, we try to keep it nice and clean and tidy, and ask our customers to do the same. We're coming up to the third swim, going anti-clockwise. This swim is called number 57. This is because the first fish caught in it many years ago was a 57-pound cat. Let's take a look at this swim, the view. I'll step back. This is the swim. Walking up to the swim. This is the view from the swim of the lake. Let's proceed round. Next swim along is Royal Box. We do have someone in it at the moment. Let's pull again. A little bit awkward to do this with someone in the swim. There's the sign. Stand back. Take a look at the swim. Right, again, all our swims are quite large. The view from the swim. This time going from right to left, just because that's the way I was facing. Now we're going back again. Going. Off we go. We have a fair amount of overhanging trees, etc. Features to fish too in the margins. The centre of the lake has been kept clear. There are 2 gravel bars on the lake, several bloodworm beds scattered about. Very high amount of bloodworm in the lake. Very old lake, although not a lot of silt. Zoom in here. Right, we're at pad swim. This is the 5th swim on the right, going anti-clockwise around the lake, sorry. Zoom out again, let's take a look at the swim. Going big swim. This is big enough to double up in, some of our customers do. Quite an open swim. There's a tree to the left. Does have some wood staging to take it out a little bit into the lake. I'll stand on the staging and it would be the view of the lake. You can view right down the lake, and there you go, left to right. As you can see, it's at the end of the lake, which gives it the added feature of the end to fish to. Proceeding round the lake, there aren't any swims at this part of the lake at the end. There's boat. She's obviously posing. And we're at the end of the lake. I'm going to turn. This is the view that we're walking. It's quite a nice walk actually. I do it several times a day. Let's turn around and look at the lake. This is the view of the lake from the end as I walk round. As you can see, well established, as I said, pretty lake, very pretty in fact. There she is. Let's walk on. Around the back of the lake here, as I say, we try to keep it as open as possible. Sometimes it overgrows a little bit, but not normally. bit of a view of the lake again. Behind the lake we've got fields. There are some industrial units, but they're not close enough to make any noise or interference. We're coming up to one of our customers, quite a regular man. He seems to be having lunch on an apple. Right, we're in Bramble Swim. Let's zoom in on the thing. Sign these. There is another fairly large swim. Let's take a look at the view. And left to right, this is the last swim on the left, going clockwise around. Turning around the water lake. This is the view. Let's zoom in on the side as we have done with all the others. There it is, pump swim. Let's have a look at the view from the lake. This is the view from the swim, not from the lake, silly bugger. There you go. How's that? That's a nice view. Just zoom in across the lake for you, so you can see the swims, if you like, from the opposite side of the lake. There's one, and go along, and there's another one. You can see they're well spaced, turning round. This is an old pump. The lake was an irrigation lake years ago. These were strawberry fields. Coming up to the next swim, which is the third swim up on the left, going anti-clockwise. Another one of those people that turns up here. This is Whiskers Swim. There it is. Take a look at the swim. The view from the lake. We have cleared away from the left side of the swim. There you go. Proceeding round the lake. As you can see, as I said, we try to keep it nice and clean and tidy. Access is good. Whether customers are fully able or we have some disabled customers, we do our best for everybody. This swim is a willow swim. There you go, willow swim. Looking up from the sign to the left of the swim. There you go, here's the view. Let's walk down a bit into the swim. There's the view. The swim has lily pads to the right there. Going up, let's zoom in across. There's a view of the lodge from the other side of the lake. There is a swim opposite. Zoom out, just give you an idea of how far it is. So it's not, it looks a bit close like that. There you go. Nice overhanging trees to the left there. Plenty of fish caught under those. Let's go around the lake. There's a swim looking back from the lake. Well, we're coming up to the last swim on the lake. There are 10 swims. It's the last swim if you're walking around anti-clockwise. Right, the first swim if you're walking around clockwise. This is a nice little swim at the back. As you can see, no disturbance, no roads close, no noise. There's the swim. Here's the sign, tells you the swim name. This is quite a tight little swim, but probably the most picturesque one on the lake. Let's walk it down in. We've got reeds here to the left of the swims. It's not as big as the other swims, although we will be opening it up shortly a little bit more. There you go. Reeds to the left, lily pads to the left of the swim. Lily pads out now, straight out from the swim. Zoom in a bit. Nice lily size. Nice features. Lovely features fish too. Right hand side of the lake, overhanging trees again. You're at the end of the lake, so you have the advantage of those overhanging trees to fish from. Going up, there's the view of the lodge. This swim is the first swim which is opposite the lodge swim, you can see. There you go, look. Right, turning round and we're going back. Stepping up there, back round the end of the lake. Back round we go. There's boat. I don't suppose that's the best view of her. To the end of the lake we've got the drive down. More fields, all the fields are set to hay. So the only noise you get off these fields is maybe once a year when a combine goes round and tunes it up, takes it away. There we go, we're back to the end, the view again of the lake from the end, the other end. View of the car park. And we're back to the entrance. So, it's not an easy lake, it's not the easiest lake in the world. The view of the entrance, which is now the exit going out from this direction, of course, and back round to the lodge. There you go. We do have one carp in here standing at 52.5 pounds. We have 6 other known 40s in the lake. These are carp. One of those is a common, standing at just over 40. I'll have a little commentary while we're looking at the lake again. We have 28 known 30s. And we have catfish in here. Up to at least 137 pounds. We have 92 two distinguishable different 80s. We have tench in here to £10.6 that I know of. We have crucian carp in here to £5 now, as I've only just been told that one of our customers has put one in for the British record decal. We also have koi carp to 30, grass carp to £25, roach and mud to a couple of pounds. There's no pike, no bream. So if you want to try and catch something large, maybe break your personal best, give us a call or pop on down and have a look.